And I'm back. Today we're going to be talking about conlangs again. Yay. So last time I set you some homework. It was pretty simple. Just choose your language type, create a phonemic inventory, choose phonotactics. That one may be a bit more difficult. And research IPA diacritics. Let's go through that a bit more. IPA diacritics are used to be more precise about a sound's pronunciation. For example, k versus ky. It's palatalized, that's what that J means there. And I have some corrections to make as well. I said that r cannot come before l. That's incorrect. It's just because of my British accent. I completely forgot. I'm very sorry to my American cousins and anyone else who uses that. My pronunciation of sh being more like h. It's more the C is more in the front of the mouth than the X is. I'm just going to say it like that, so it's simple. And I used the wrong symbol for the sound oo, so let me change that right here to that. Right, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to be talking about orthography. What is an orthography? Well, it's a spelling system of a language. It's pretty simple. So let's apply it to our language, shall we? Or mine at least. As you can see here, I've basically copied what the German orthography should be, except for y. I've set it as a Y. And lastly, I have included schwa in this list as on unstressed syllables. This is called a romanization. It's the same as the English or German or French or whatever alphabet you want to use. It's called romanization because the alphabet was invented by the Romans. It's quite simple. But what's this word down here? What does unstressed mean? Well, it's pretty simple. Let me explain. So, stress is putting emphasis on certain syllables of a word. There are two types of stress. There's fixed stress, which is the same syllable in a pattern is stressed, and variable stress, where there's no predictable pattern, like English. Let me explain that one too. Let's take the sentence, he pet my dog, for example. There are 4 words in the sentence that could be stressed, and each of them change the meaning of the sentence, or at least the focus. He pet my dog. Someone else didn't. He pet my dog. Don't sue me for that one, Peter. He pet my dog. It's my dog. And he pet my dog. He didn't pet my fish. So what if I want to create my own alphabet? What if I don't want to use the Latin one? Well, firstly, alphabet's probably not the best word to use. Let's use script instead, and you'll see why in just a second. So there's multiple different types of script. There are logographies, which each symbol represents one word or idea. Alphabets, where each symbol represents one phoneme. Abugida, where each symbol represents a consonant and vowels are modifications to that symbol. Abjads, where each symbol represents a consonant and vowels are inferred. Syllabaries, where each symbol represents an entire syllable. And featural systems, where each symbol represents a smaller thing, such as voicing and place of articulation. So here are some examples of this. Chinese, Latin or Cyrillic in Russia, an Abugida being Hindi in India, an Abjad being that in most Middle Eastern countries and North African countries, syllabaries, katakana in Japan, it's just one example, and featural Hangul in Korea. What am I going to choose though? Well, I've decided that since I'm making a cross between English and German, I'm just going to use a normal alphabet. But if I want to create my own, what will I do? Well, I'm going to firstly choose some ideas and goals. Firstly, the society is going to be futuristic, therefore the alphabet should be as well. And secondly, it should be simple. What do I think of when I think of those? Well, I think of binary. I mean, it's not exactly futuristic, we have binary, but if you didn't know how binary works, let me explain real quick. Basically, the first symbol toggles on and off, so it constantly changes like that. The second one changes when the first one turns off, and the third one changes when the second one turns off, and it keeps going like that. There's more to it, that's just a simple explanation without going into anything complicated and mathy. How am I going to apply that to my alphabet? Well, let's take this Lego brick, grid, for example. Basically, each of those circles will represent a point in my letter. So how do we apply binary to this? Well, I'm just going to, for example, go from the top left to right, then middle left, right, bottom left, right, and do binary that way. It's fairly simple. So we start off with that one. then the next one turns on, then the top row, then the middle left, and like this and this and this. So each of those will represent one alphabet symbol, but how do we turn that into a symbol? Well, I'm just going to draw a line between them. But what if you don't want that? What if you want like a more natural alphabet, or a different type of alphabet? Well, that's going to be explained in my next video, unfortunately. Guess what? It's homework time. I want you, this time, to research stress, research scripts that interest you, and choose which type of script you want to use. That's all. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I have a Discord now. Still needs a bit of work, I'll be honest. And also, I am part of an amino. I'm leading an amino on constructed languages, and I have for the past, I've been in it for the past 2 years, been leading it for quite a while, and we've recently been listed. Both of these links will be left in the description. If you need any help with either things, chat to me, whatever, you can just join either of them.